Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this section, we are going to talk about a new, brand new item called AWS. Now, I'm going to give you two options over here for you. You can use a cloud-based, what you're seeing right now. For this example, we will take AWS and create your instances in AWS and have these instances run on the cloud. Now, do remember that this is going to be costing you a little extra, which you need to pay it on the cloud services by AWS. So that's one thing. The second thing is that I'm going to give you a laptop-based, your own building up your own virtual machine using freewares. So that's also another option. But do remember that your laptop needs to have at least 12 GB of memory to start with. 8 GB, yeah, you can do with it, but it still struggles a bit. So 12 GB is always recommended. But you don't have that configuration and you have some money to spare. Like, for example, you can spare about $50 to $100 based on, your usage, right? Then you can actually go for AWS. So I will be telling you how much pricey it's going to get later point of time, but it's around, we will try to make it minimum. We will try to make it below $50 as an expense for you. So we will do the price calculation later and depends on the requirements which you're going to have. Do remember that there are three different ways of using AWS Kubernetes service. You can either go for a managed or unmanaged, but this training wants you to be focused on managed. Not on managed. I want it to be like, you need to configure entire thing. So you should go for something like a self-managed item. So which means that you need to manage the instances yourself. So we will be creating EC2 instances rather than the managed instances, as in like managed in the sense that AWS itself manages the instance, which means that you can go for ECS or EKS in that scenario. But for this training purpose, you will be going for a self-managed infrastructure using EC2 instance so that you can actually learn about Kubernetes operations. So it's just not just about Kubernetes. We will be working on Docker also. So our training will be starting from Docker. So we will be starting from Docker from here and then slowly building up for Kubernetes. So do remember that this training will be starting up from Docker. And that's how and you can easily build up the server for Docker and then do all your hands-on and then add another server and then make this part of Kubernetes. So you can divide this session into two sessions. First few videos for setting up your basic master, which you can use your Docker installation and stuff. And then later point of time, you can add another EC2 instance, and then you can integrate your the worker node for your Kubernetes or worker node for your Docker Swarm. So both integration is possible later point of time. So I'll let you know that, on the videos itself that you can start Docker program right now, and then you can start Kubernetes program so that you can come back and revisit this and then take it on for Kubernetes. But if I'm going to divide this, I have to create two different sessions. So I don't want to do that because it just creates more confusion. So do remember that this is an add-on, so that this is not originally designed, but then I'm adding this on top of an existing program which is already running with your laptop server or free server, because of a lot of people are requesting services on AWS. So I'm just trying to add this on top of the existing program. Do remember that this is AWS comes with a free tier, but it's kind of useless for our for our session. Now let me explain you why. The free tier comes with like some free usable stuff, which is available for 12 months free. So you must be excited to do this. But the 750 hours, which is 12 months actually, is given only for two of the EC2 machines or compute, which is your T2 micro and T3 micro. So do remember that the Kubernetes comes with a default recommendation that you need to have 2 CPUs and 2 GB of RAM per node with a 20 GB free disk space. So disk space is not a big deal right now, but the 2 CPU and 2 GB is a issue for us, because when you look at the 750 hours free, you will see when you go inside the within the AWS pricing and tags and the instant type, you will see T3 Micro comes with 2 virtual CPU and 1 GB of RAM. And if you go T2 Micro, sorry, it comes with 1 virtual CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So which is kind of a pickle, isn't it? So you cannot actually go with any of this. So I would recommend a T2 Medium, which has 4 GB of RAM and 2 CPUs. That's perfectly fitting our requirement. But do remember that CPU credit, per hour is 24. It's very low, so it's not like really high, because it fits our bill perfectly. T2 Medium. I'm also looking out for other option like T3 Medium, so see if it fits our bill, but it's almost the same in terms of the pricing wise, because it has the similar configuration, except for the different CPU architecture. So I'll just stick with T2 because it is more or less used in many situations, because it has a much broader CPU utilization, and it is like a very low cost in terms of that's a beginning a level of your compute. So it's going to be much lower cost when you run it for a longer period of time. So this is what I'm recommending here, which we will be doing as part of the training. Firstly, we will create T2 Micro for our Docker machine as a master host for Docker, and later we will convert it to Kubernetes master, and then we will create another T2 Medium for the worker node. All right, so this is completely, we will start with the Docker, and then we will go to Kubernetes afterwards. So that's pretty much what I want to cover on this video. In the next videos onwards, like I'm going to cover creating your free account. So I'm going to tell you what actually you need to do to create a free account. And you for sure need a credit card. So have that handy before you're going to create a free account. You may ask me, oh, it's a free account. Why do I need a credit card? Yes, this is how it works. So even if it says free account, that doesn't mean that you will be you will not be paying anything at the time of creating this account or using this account. But they just want to run a credit check, or not a credit check, but then they want to check whether you have a valid credit card by doing a test transaction. And once they do the transaction and test it, your credit card and your verification, you need to also verify your ID, your public ID, like a license or any kind of a government issued ID. You need to verify that. So once you have done all the verification, then you will be able to granted access and then able to do all these other services like creating all the instances and stuff like that. Yes, for a free instance also, you still have to do the same verification before you go ahead and do all those things. On the next video, we will see creating a free account, and after that, we will be exploring the default settings. The first few things you need to do, like a billing configuration, because we don't want to miss any billing alerts, right? We don't want to overbuild for anything. So we want to do the billing alert configuration, and then we will go ahead and do a third-party authentication as well, so that you don't lose access to your account. So we will do a Google Authenticator authorization as well. So that's to secure your account much more with a third-party authentication. And then we will be working with the EC2 instance, creating an instance, and then we will be installing the softwares which we require. And then we'll go about learning that a few things which we need to do for Kubernetes as well. Thank you again for your patience and time. I'll see you on the next video.